Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo, and today I have a video for you guys. It's a review of The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening 2019, aka Link's Awakening for the Switch. I'm just going to refer to the game as Link's Awakening 2019 for the rest of this video. So, yeah. Sorry about the lighting. It is actually really rainy right now. I don't know why in the camera it's so bright out, but yeah, not much I can do about it. Now, I have spent the past 13 to 14 hours on Link's Awakening for the Switch. I have 100%ed the game. I have not touched the hero mode yet at the time of recording this, but yeah. So, wow, I sounded like a frog there. So to talk about the story, Link comes from some faraway land on a boat, and his raft is struck by lightning, and then he washes up on the mysterious Koholint Island, where things are not what they seem. Link is then tasked with recovering 8 instruments, the siren instruments, and trying to wake up the windfish to escape Koholint Island. But he learns some very dark things about the island and its colorful, entertaining residents as he goes on. And that's all I'm gonna go with without getting into spoilers, because, I mean spoilers, it's a 20-year-old game, but there are new generations that pop up every now and then. So, as I stated in my first reaction, the visuals are gorgeous, the soundtrack is good but not perfect, the combat is the same, but some enemies now behave differently. Now, since my first reaction, my first impression, I need to make a couple of revisions. I mentioned that enemies with swords now are a massive pain in the ass to kill. They are, if you don't know what you're doing. Apparently, they added in a parrying system into the game that only works with some enemies because only a small handful of enemies have swords and shields. But if an enemy with a sword comes at you, they will hold up their shield and try to like stab you with their sword. At that point, you need to put up your shield. They will hit it. They will be like, and then once they do that, you are free to slash them. So they are technically just as easy to beat as before, except now fighting them is a little bit different. I do actually kind of like this, but yeah, my first impression, I didn't really know about the parrying system. I really didn't. After the first trailer, I just didn't watch anything of the game. So, yay. So, yeah. Regarding other changes, though, there are a few others. Instead of the 26 secret seashells that are in the game now, there's 50. And, yeah, there really isn't much of a reward for going after all 50, I'll tell you that much. And instead of the 12 heart pieces now, there are double the amount, I think. Very sure. I don't know. There's 32 heart pieces now. So, yeah. But there's also a ninth heart container that you can get from Dompe for completing 12 of his challenges, which don't know why that wasn't documented on the internet when I was playing it. I mean, there have been tons of people who have 100% of the game by that point, including Game Explain. Way to drop the ball, guys, but whatever. So, you know, the anglerfish now has a different, now actually tries to attack. He's still just as easy as before, but he tries to attack you this time. I'm gonna grab my hat. Regarding other changes, the pictograph rat guy is gone, and I'm really sad by that. Although they did incorporate some of the, at least 2 of those sequences as actual cutscenes you can still view in the game. Well, one of them isn't really a cutscene, but it's a little funny. I guess you could call it an Easter egg now, because you have to go out of your way to trigger it. But yeah, it's really, really funny. There's this point in the, I guess you would say, the middle of the game, where you're with Marin, and Marin is a little orange, red-haired girl that bears a resemblance to the Link to the Past version of Zelda. I personally don't see it, but whatever. Link to the Past, no, Marin is a girl that develops romantic feelings for Link in some capacity, and I really kind of wish that they would have played this up a little bit more in the remake, but in the 2019 version, but still, you know, there's 2 instances in particular. There's this one point in the beach where you go and Link and Marin and Link just kind of talk and be like, "This will be our secret place." And then there's another one where you jump down a well and then she lands on Link, knocking him out pretty much with her big butt, because girls have big butts. I don't know. And in the original and in the DX version, there's a little mouse guy. Actually, no, is he only in the... I think he's only in the DX version. In the DX version, he comes up and he takes a picture of Link getting squished by Marin. And it's really, really funny. Just, I love that they kept that in. But yeah, the difficulty is just as easy as before. In fact, I'd say it's even easier, because of the fact that in the original and in the DX version, you were dealing with sprites. There wasn't a whole lot of fluidity with the sprites, like with the genie boss. In the original, it's just he's holding his things like this, and then he cuts to already throw his arms like that. But in the original, he's actually going like this when he's throwing the thing. So it's a lot more telegraphed. the attacks are a lot more telegraphed, so you're able to prepare for them much more. In addition to this, you also get a couple of fairy bottles, which allow you to catch fairies. I don't know if they allow you to catch other things. And also, there are apples on trees, which you can heal yourself with. In addition to having the Crazy Tracy secret medicine, which fully revives you upon your death. There really was no need for all this to be the case, even with things changed up as much as it was with certain enemies. Because although I came close to dying at certain points, I knew enough about the game to work my way through. In fact, the only dungeon in the game where I legitimately forgot what to do was Turtle Rock. So, yeah, I don't really know why the game is made as easy as it was. I got the secret ending on my first try. Just saying that outright, I got the secret ending on my first try. The original version, or DX rather, I have a lot more trouble with on my 3DS, which, like I said, it's because it's sprite based. There's not a whole lot of ways to heal yourself. Either you find a heart, you find a fairy fountain, which those are very infrequent in this game, or you rely on the Crazy Tracy's secret medicine. So, in the DX version, there's not a whole lot of ways to heal yourself. Woo! Excuse me. Fuck. Oh, I just had a coughing fit. But, yeah. And the funny thing is, the original and DX versions still aren't really all that... They're not really all that, challenging. It's still one of the shortest and easiest Zelda games out there. But... I mean, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 are still technically shorter, but because they are both much harder, you likely spend a lot longer on the game. So, as I've mentioned before, this game adds a whole lot. It streamlines the process. There are no longer screen transitions. Now a good chunk. Now the Pegasus boots, the power bracelet, and your shield and your sword are all mapped to the buttons. So all the other items are just you have to go into for, which saves a lot of time. Like for the majority of my adventure, I kept the Rock's Feather on the Y button, and so I only really needed to go in to change the X button. Didn't have to do that a whole lot. So, yeah, it's really streamlined. Probably the definitive way to play it. Sorry, I had an itch. It's probably the definitive way to play the game. But then you look at that price tag. It's $60 compared to you getting the same game with, you know, like you get the same game on a 3DS system for about $10 for like a sixth for 1/6 of the price. Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, if you have a 3DS, you're better off just getting the Virtual Console version. Because the console version, even though there is nothing actually wrong with it, that price tag is a big pill to swallow for such a short game. Like I said, I beat the game in about 100% in about 13-14 hours. In about 12 to 13 hours, give or take. So, yeah, it's just kind of... Whoops. It's just kind of a big pill to swallow. I mean, I'm a Zelda guy, so any Zelda at a bare minimum is worth $30. The additions that they have, I think, bump it up to about another $10. I think at most this game should have been $40. So, yeah, but also, I think this game should be at most worth the same price as Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition. Because, well, not even that, really, because Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition gives you a whole lot more to do. Because, like, you get, like, about a 7-8 hour adventure. You get 2 other versions of that adventure. You get New Game Plus, and you get Hardcore mode, which bumps up the difficulty. You get Friends to the End mode, where you basically play the events of the game again, but this time as Sky, Bolo, and my favorite character in the whole series, Roddy Tops. And then you get the Pirate's Quest mode, where you get to play as Risky Boots, playing somewhat similar to the Pirate's Curse, Shantae. And then you get 4 other modes that are just basically play the events of the game again, but this time with different abilities. Like this time you get to play as a ninja, or a girl in jammies, or a girl in a bikini, or the Mighty Switch Force outfit. So, you know, you get, like, each mode is about as long as the main game. So, yeah, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. Like, there's all those different types of modes. So, I don't know. I'm very torn on this because Link's Awakening is my favorite. It is not my favorite, but it was my first Zelda, as I mentioned in the first first impression. And unlike almost everything else I talk about, I have actual memories of this, dating back to such a young age. So, I don't know. As far as rating goes, I'm gonna rate this game very, very high. But I don't know about that price tag. So I'm gonna say this game is a 9.5 out of 10 because of the fact that there isn't really anything wrong with it from what I'm able to tell. I mean, there is frame rate issues in some places, but those parts are very far and few between. The game is the shortest and easiest in the franchise, but it also comes with a hero mode, which, according to some people on the internet, is basically another Dark Souls game. Why do people keep comparing shit to Dark Souls? I don't get it. I've played Dark Souls before and beaten it. It's hard, but it's fair. Like, it is a game where you will get punched in the balls repeatedly, but the game is built around a good chunk of its mechanics. The only thing it's not built around is platforming, and I think it's the final boss or the Bed of Chaos or something that forces you to actually platform in that, and the game clearly is not designed around it. So, but yeah, that was my review of Link's Awakening 2019, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I did enjoy the game. Now, if you'll excuse me, after I am done editing this video here, this video, what I done did, I am gonna go onto my Switch and play through the hero mode. I am not going for 100%. Fuck. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in whatever video I have cooked up next. See you guys then. Look like a country boy.